Hey, yo, before we get into episode 66 of White Heat, which is probably going to be JJ's favorite episode because of the number it is, JJ,
Boy.
as a manager, it was probably your favorite number, wasn't it?
Eh.
Eh. Anyways, that's a great way to start the show. Yeah, it's not about you, but it's been raining all day here. How about you?
Yeah, it was raining all day, and then the sun just decided to pop out like 2 seconds ago.
Temperature's down a little bit.
It's been fluctuating, but it's still been pretty hot and humid here.
Well, you know what the rain and the slightly cooler temperatures make me think of?
What's that?
Made me think of the fall, a nice, crisp, cool evening, eventually Halloween and Thanksgiving, which also
Yeah.
means it reminds me that I need to get my heating system looked at. And no better people to do that than Johnstone Supply in Troy. That's right. It's the colder temps and the rain is coming around, which means fall is in the air. And that means winter is not too far away. So don't be left out in the cold this fall or winter without getting your heating system checked or a brand new one installed by our friends over at Johnstone Supply in Troy. Tremendous brands like Goodman, Fujitsu, Westinghouse, all in stock, all at great prices. And if you need someone to install your system, they can do that too. Whether it be our good friend George, great guy over there, or Kev, James Bird, any of them, they will make sure that you stay nice and warm through the cold days and nights of fall and winter. Just give them a call, 518-272-5922, or visit them at their hard location at 2600 6th Avenue in Troy. Again, 518-272-5922, 2600 6th Avenue in Troy, or visit them online at johnstonsupply.com. Jonestown. I guess that's the female version of Johnstone. Johnstone.
That's the Kool-Aid version.
Anyways, yeah, we're off to a
Fall is in the air everywhere I look around.
These first 2 minutes have been fucking amazing.
Fall is in the air, every sight and every sound.
Guys, don't take any audio pulls from this show.
Guys, don't delete the video this week.
Oh. About that because as we're recording right now, it's just after 3:00 Tuesday afternoon. Him and Levac are gonna be going live in about an hour and a half. I already told him, "You touchy, I kill you."
Yeah.
So hi guys. Eddie Hooser, welcome to White Heat, episode 66, sponsored by our good friends over at Johnstone Supply, as well as Mohawk Honda and DraftKings, and of course, we're presented by Godzilla Media. Mr. Alexander, huh?
DraftKings, when did that happen?
I only just started doing the read last week, you numbnuts.
I did not notice.
Oh shit, you must have dozed off into your coffee. Eddie Hooser.
I remember SeatGeek, and then SeatGeek was done, and now we got DraftKings. Okay.
Yep. Before I get into asking you how your physical therapy was today, that actually reminds me, you mentioned SeatGeek. 24 hours out update on AEW Dynamite tickets in downtown Albany at MVP Arena. Let's begin with our prior sponsor, SeatGeek. Let's see what we have here. Still nothing below $64.
Like I said,
that includes fees. Yeah, day of. Out of curiosity, let's look at Game Time. They are 44, but I think that's before fees. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after fees, 2 seats on the floor be 126, so it's about the same as Game Time.
And remember, I sent you that text conversation that someone shared last week, so you know what to do.
Oh, I got you. Don't worry. And then, oh yeah, StubHub. There's the other one. StubHub. What do we have here? StubHub has lowest pricing, including fees. Let's see. Yeah, so they're all right around the same range, all around 60 to 65 per seat.
StubHub is usually the first one to drop down quick.
Which reminds me, guess who won a pair of seats? I think I told you this, by the way, already.
No.
My sister-in-law.
Oh.
I don't know why she decided to call in for some contest on the radio locally. I came and plugged the radio station, so sorry, whoever the radio station is. But yeah, she apparently won a pair of tickets, and yeah. Okay. So yeah, how was physical therapy today?
It was what it was. I hate life. Took my pain meds. Now I'm here.
actually sounds about par for the course with you. Any Hooser. So let's just jump right into it. Let's get the I wouldn't call them the bottom feeders, but the less dramatic brands out of the way. Let's begin with Impact, because they had the least dramatic stuff going on over the past week. But they did have a little bit of news in that D'Lo Brown said toodles to Impact Wrestling, no longer with them. He was on commentary. I think he was part of the half-assed Aces and Eights shit they did at one point, I think.
Yeah, he was the one that they had managing the two least popular members of Aces and Eights when they brought them back like a month ago.
Yeah, so I mean whatever.
I'm thinking D'Lo got a call to go down to Florida.
You what?
I said I'm thinking D'Lo got a call to go down to Florida.
Entirely possible. You never know.
He'd be a good addition to the PC.
Does he have any particular relationship like that with Hunter that we are aware of?
Possibly. Okay. I mean, it was, he, shared the locker room same time as all of them. And D'Lo's always been like, I met D'Lo a few times. D'Lo's a really personable guy, really knowledgeable guy. And if he's not going somewhere else, it's like, he's one of those guys. He's a lifer. So if he's not going there, he may be opening up his own school. Who knows?
Gotta watch out for number one. You know what they say.
Right. Don't step in number two.
Correct. Meanwhile, as far as their show that aired last Thursday, they had Shane Taylor drop to Crazy Steve before the show.
That's fucking sad.
I'm just gonna leave that alone.
That's the epitome of sad.
I know. Then the actual show itself, Aussie Open, in a non-title match, they defeated Ace Austin and Chris Bay.
Boy.
Then we have a backstage thing with Maria Kanellis choking on the knobs of Taven and Bennett. Right, that's a little strong, but you get my point. She's congratulating them for being the new Impact World Tag Team Champions. Yeah, that's really it. Nothing big. Then a backstage interview with the Good Brothers. Carl Anderson says they're not done with Honor no more.
Except they are.
Right. The machine guns interrupt. Doc says there's only room for one machine gun. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Whatever. Anyways, that books a match between the two teams for this coming week on Impact. Then Mickie James beats Rachel Rose. Never heard of her.
Must be a local.
Sure. Yeah, we'll go with that. Kenny King interrupts. Mia Yim and Scott D'Amore backstage. Wants a rematch.
This don't taste like dreams.
The what takes like?
I said this don't taste like dreams.
Why? What's it called? Oh,
it's called. It says it's dream flavored.
Killing me.
Killing me, Smalls.
So yeah, I sent that text to my wife earlier today, actually. So Kenny barges in demanding a rematch for the X Division title. D'Amore announces that Bayley is actually defending it this coming week against Mascara Dorada.
The gold mask.
So instead, he puts Kenny King in a match this coming week against Yuya Uemura from New Japan.
That's Red Shoes Kid.
Yeah, apparently he's getting around a lot.
Impact's really like ramping up that New Japan relationship, apparently.
Then Steve Macklin talking backstage with Gia Miller, whatever. No, actually that match was this past week because Uemura beat Kenny King. Okay. And apparently Mia Yim was ringside for. I don't know. Whatever.
Well, I know she showed back up in Impact.
But... Well, yeah, but I just don't get I guess she's just trying to make good on Kenny. I don't know.
Because Japanese and Japanese. I don't.
Oh, it was apparently just Mia Yim getting back at Kenny for interrupting her earlier in the night.
Okay.
Then a Callahan promo about his match with Macklin and Moose at Victory Road, which I believe is not this coming week. I believe it's the weekend after.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it's around the 23rd, 24th area.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they promote the shirt they've made for Joe Doring, where 100% of the proceeds are going towards Joe.
That's right.
And his recovery. Chelsea Green beats Taya Valkyrie in singles action.
Ugh.
Yeah. Then backstage interview with Jordan Grace. And then PCO and Vincent. Brian Myers beats Guhar by disqualification in a digital media championship match.
Ugh.
So for never mind. Just a title that's meant for pre-show only gets a title match on. Never mind.
Yep.
I gotta leave it alone. Guhar steals the title belt and leaves the Impact Zone with it in his possession. That's nice. That's nice.
Never make a gimmick title. That's just the way it is.
What else? So, Killer Kelly's taking on Alicia. Oh, good. They booked a ladder match for Impact in 2 weeks between Myers and Guhar for the digital media title.
Killer Kelly's going to be at Connecticut Horror Fest next weekend.
It's funny. I'm going to get to her in a second. Eddie Edwards beats Heath. Yay. I thought they were going to... So they tease... If Killer Kelly teased that she's asking Tasha Steelsby ringside to watch her match with Alicia, but they never air the match. Dummies. Nice editing. Nice fucking editing. And then apparently Honor No More beat the shit out of Josh Alexander to go off the air. Yay.
Of course.
Like, this is why you never made it. Because of stupid shit like that.
Yep.
Like, how do you not catch that in post-edit?
So what happens when you have, like, people who are making little to no money doing your production and editing?
It wasn't even a long segment either.
You're running off interns.
The backstage segment was like maybe a minute. Like, not that hard.
Cut corners where you can, and then that's what you get.
Oh, bother. I just quoted Winnie the Pooh.
I was waiting for it.
Just for a smacker of honey.
Wasn't going to eat it. I was just going to taste it.
Did you know, by the way, that the same guy voiced Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, and the snake from the animated Jungle Book?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, some people get shocked when they hear that, but I you could hear it in the voice. But anyways.
Yeah.
Anyways, after that useless knowledge of Disney movies, let's move on to New Japan. As last week,
right.
they decided, we're not stretched out enough as it is. Let's launch a third brand because fuck it. So obviously, New Japan, they restrict themselves to Japan only, except for the random tour shows they occasionally do, like they're going to London for the first weekend of October. Mm-hmm. Occasionally, they'll come over and do a big show in the U.S.
California, yeah.
Usually California. They even went to Texas at one point when they...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The one year they started the G1 in the U.S., which was... I want to say that might have been 2019, 2020, something like that.
Maybe. Mine must have been 2019 because 2020...
It must have been 19 because 20 would have been COVID, yeah. So it was 19. Because that was right after Kenta showed back up, so that had to be 2019 because it's been...
Right, because didn't they not hold a G1 in 2020 because of COVID and they were shut down, and that's why Kenta had that briefcase for forever and a day?
Right.
Yes.
Correct. So they have that brand, the main brand. They have New Japan Strong, which is based in the U.S., as you all know. Yeah. Now they're launching a third brand. It's called Hamashii. Sounds right.
Yeah.
It's basically like they took They're like, what's the best thing we can come up with? Let's take Tomohiro's last name, knock off the first I, and add Tonga's first name, Tamashii. Yeah.
I'm sure it's the translation of something. I just don't know what it is.
Probably. No fucking clue. So the press release says New Japan was excited to announce in November they're going to launch in November. It's a new brand that will see the best in their Japanese main brand compete with the best of from New Japan's New Zealand dojo,
Tamashii,
as well as the best talents from Australasia.
Here you go.
Huh? The hell was that?
Tamashii means soul or spirit.
Thank you, Alexa. Or no,
Google.
Siri, whatever the fuck it was.
It's just Google.
Oh, yeah. It's right, it's right in the next sentence of the goddamn press release, Brian. Read the fucking thing.
Oh, Jesus.
Meaning spirit or soul, Tamashii is a logical continuation of the philosophy behind New Japan Strong in the U.S., which has seen established names from New Japan compete with brand new prospects emerging from New Japan's LA dojo, as well as the best from the local scene. Now, Australasia, for those of you not familiar with geography, that pretty much encompasses like Australia, New Zealand, the islands in the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
You get the point. Their first show will be November 11th in New Zealand, and then Sunday, November 13th in Sydney. Already signed on for those shows are Kenta, Taiji Ishimori, and Bad Luck Fale. So
surprised Jay White hasn't been announced for those.
I
mean, he's still champ, so that's
also be a surprise.
True.
Potentially could be a surprise appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Aside from that, they're just doing a tour right now in Japan. Nothing crazy going on across the not Atlantic Ocean, as Tony Khan would call it.
The colder Atlantic.
The Western Atlantic. Aside from that, there's really no big things that have come out. They did announce their first official booking for the weekend they're in London for Royal Quest 2. Night 1, which will be Saturday, October 1st. They officially booked FTR to defend the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles against Aussie Open. So,
oh boy,
we're either going to see FTR retain, or we could see new dual tag team champions in Aussie Open, as they are currently still the strong tag team champions.
I feel like the New Japan relationship with AEW has soured for now, and FTR are dropping those belts.
I have a similar feeling, but who knows? They also have a spot booked for night 2 as the only match so far, being a women's championship tournament match, though there's nobody well, I don't know if this is a fake name, but Ava White is listed as one of the combatants. I'm not sure if that's a real name or a fake name, but the name is there. And then the other one is just listed as a generic name for now. But at least there's the thought behind it about them having a women's championship, which is nice. I don't think I've seen any actual matches yet on their tours, but that's nice.
Ava White's an actual person. She's from the UK.
I had a feeling. The only thing that was throwing me off is that they had no profile picture. It was just a generic, the vacant statuette, as we come to call it in WWE. You have Miss Vacant, just like this.
Yeah, no, she exists.
Been around the block. From a wrestling standpoint, not the way you probably just thought. From a wrestling standpoint.
The problem is, like, she looks like there's more like social media influencer shit than anything about her. Like
really?
Instagram and TikTok and yada yada. And yeah, like if you go to Wrestling Data, she's got the vacant sign. She used to be called The Ava.
Ooh.
But yeah, she's a UK pro wrestling main stage.
If they're trying to attract a European audience to this show, you know who might not be a bad idea to reach out to?
Who's that?
Any of the chicks that don't have any direct connection to WWE anymore, but competed in any of the
NXT
Mae Young tournaments. Or the Mae Young tournaments.
Yeah.
Like, who's that one German girl who was just...
Oh yeah, I forget the name, but I know what you're digging at. Yeah,
she just a fucking beast.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the most recent tournament they had, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna bug me now because I can't think of the damn name. I want to say her first name started with like a J or something.
Something like that.
I think it started with a J. I could be completely wrong. No, this was the first one. I gotta go to the second one. This is the 2018 version. I need. Okay, maybe it was the 2017 one she was in. Hang on. Jazzy Gabbert.
Yeah, Jazzy Gabbert. Yes, I remember her. Yes.
God, you look back at that first Mae Young Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a crazy thing to think about. Bianca Belair had to win a qualifying match to get into that tournament.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she was super green then.
Looking back now, 5 years ago, it's like, holy shit, she had to win a fucking qualifier to get in there.
Well, plus, like, you got to consider, she was legit homegrown. She had no indie wrestling experience prior to coming to the PC.
Right. She was a standout track star at Tennessee.
Yep.
But like, you look back at the names that were in this first tournament. Obviously, Kairi Sane, if I remember correctly, was the winner of the first tournament.
I thought you won the second one.
Was it the second one? I don't remember.
Oh no, Tony Storm
won
won
the
the
first
second one. That's right.
She beat Shayna Baszler in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, if you look back at this list of talent from the first one, going in alphabetical order, why does that name sound familiar? Hang on. Kimberly, who was listed by her, she was listed by her. Abby Lath was her character.
That's right. That was her. Yeah, that was her WWE name.
Then you had Bianca, Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, Jazzy Gabbert, Kairi Sane, Kavita Devi. Oh yeah, I remember her.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Kaylee Ray, Lacey Evans, Marty Bell, who's since gone on to be do well in NWA.
Yep.
Mercedes.
Yep.
Mia Yim. Piper Niven, aka Dewdrop. Rachel Evers, who Rachel Ellering. Is her usual name. Yeah. Reina Gonzalez, who's now Raquel Rodriguez.
I had such a crush on her in the Reina and Gonzalez gimmick.
Renee Michelle, who's well known on the indie circuit around here, around the India US area. Rhea Ripley was in the first one. That was back when she
looked like Charlotte.
I was gonna say basically pre-tattoo and piercings. Rhea Ripley essentially. Santana Garrett was in that. Sarah Logan, Serena Deeb. Shayna Baszler, Ty Conti, Tessa Blanchard, Toni Storm, and Xia Li.
Damn.
That was back when Tessa still had a working relationship.
That's back when people tolerated Tessa Blanchard.
Right. And remember, Tegan Knox was originally going to be in that tournament,
but she got hurt.
She messed up her ACL.
Yeah.
So she was replaced with Miranda Salinas.
Yeah.
Who, honestly, no offense, don't really remember. They had alternates lined up for this too, just in case, including Deonna Purrazzo and Madison Rayne.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah. I'm just out of curiosity, I'm gonna go take a look and see who was in the second one, just to tickle my fancy. Who was in the second and last one? We know Toni Storm won. We already mentioned that.
Yeah.
So Allison Kay was in it. Ashley Rain. Oh, that was Madison Rain's ring name, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she owned the trademark to Madison Rain.
Oh, right. Deanna, Io Shirai. Is it Isla Dawn?
Isla Dawn. Yep.
Isla? Okay.
I'm praying that she got picked up in Florida because I love that girl.
Ginny, a.k.a.
Walter's girl.
Yep. Casey Catanzaro, who's now one half of the women's tag champs in NXT. They brought Caitlyn back for a one-off in this tournament. Karen Q, who is now Wendy Chu. Killer Kelly was in the tournament. They had Kaden Carter wrestle under the name Lacey Lane in this tournament.
Yeah, because that was when she first started.
They also had Mako Satomura in the tournament, Mercedes again, Mia Yim.
Yep.
Nicole Matthews, Priscilla Kelly,
which
was the original name of Gigi Dolan.
Yep. Priscilla,
Rachel,
Queen of the Trash Bags.
Stop your shit. Rachel Ellering again, Raquel again, Rhea again, Ty Conti again, Tegan Knox without tearing her ACL again. Vanessa Craven. Why?
Oh,
Oh,
that was fuck.
I vaguely remember her, but not
Yeah.
crazy. Then they also had Zaya Brookside and Zaya Lee was in that one again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm predicting Zaya Brookside, Jenny, and Isla Dawn will all be showing up in NXT pretty soon.
Well, Robbie's still on the payroll, right?
Yeah.
That answers your question, I think, about Zaya.
Yeah.
And going back to what we're actually talking about, which was New Japan. One last note: the big show they're having in Tokyo on 10/10, which is a Monday. Called Declaration of Power. Only 2 matches still announced, which is Okada and Jonah, and then the heavyweight title match with Jay White defending against Tama Tonga. Those are still the only 2 matches booked as of right now, but we're also still 4 weeks out, so shit will develop, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so before we get into the hot mess known as AEW, let me tell you what shouldn't be a hot mess. That's the car you have in your driveway. That's right. You shouldn't be driving a lemon, or you shouldn't be continuing to drive a used car that, it served you well, but, it's kind of getting up there in years, and you want to get a new one. That's why I need to go to our friends over at Mohawk Honda in Scotia, Glenville, because they'd be willing to find what you're looking for, not just on their lot, but they could look across the state or up and down the entire eastern seaboard if you need them and want them to, in order to get a vehicle that fits your lifestyle and your budget. But also, the real opportunity right now is either trading in or selling your vehicle, as Mohawk Honda could potentially buy cars that in some cases will be able to give you more than you paid for it. Crazy, right? Well, not too crazy if you've been paying attention to us talking about Mohawk Honda over the last 9 months with the Kelly Blue Book instant cash offer they had going on early in the year, while they're still paying cars for more than you paid for them, even now here in mid-September, as the supply chain is still facing challenges, which creates the perfect selling opportunity for you. Talk to any of the guys and gals over at Mohawk Honda, because they will hook you up, whether it's Cars with Kern Svoboda, Luisa VIP Man Morales, my man Cam McKenna, C-Mac, or just get it right from the lead man, the head man in charge, General Manager Greg Johnson. They will take care of you first class all the way, because at Mohawk Honda, Freeman's Bridge Road in Scotia, Glenville, they want to buy your car, maybe potentially turn around and put you into a newer certified pre-owned used vehicle, or just a brand new car altogether. It's Mohawk Honda. They always go out of their way to please you. What in God's name are you scrambling for right now?
Huh?
What are you scrambling for?
I wasn't scrambling. Titus is sitting down right next to me here.
Titus!
Wait, you want to say hi, Titus? Come on.
How appropriate. I'll do it for him. Oh. Sorry, I had to. I couldn't help myself.
Yes, you good boy. One more.
Oh, you're a good boy. Yes, you are. Who's a good boy? I know he can't hear me. I know. Don't make fun of me. Who's a good boy? You're a good boy. All right, I'm done. I've been around actual dogs recently, contrary to the dogs I keep with my wife. So,
yeah.
So, by the way, welcome to the Mountain Dew. Welcome. So we've transitioned from coffee to Coke to a Mountain Dew in less than a half hour. That's quite impressive.
I put the Coke Zero down because I wasn't digging it, but I got my cooler next to me, so I switched to the Diet Dew.
Well, there you go. All right. You have your notes and your pitchfork ready?
Oh, yes.
All right. So obviously, the big to-do as we approached Wednesday, September the 7th, 2022, was what the fuck is going to happen to start AEW Dynamite that night? Because it didn't matter if you tried talking to producers, national TV hosts, talent backstage, other executives not named the Young Bucks or Kenny Omega. It seemed nobody had a fucking clue. Huh?
Or Mega.
Right. It seemed like nobody had a fucking clue. All we knew is that the Bucks weren't in the building, Kenny wasn't in the building, Ace Steel was in the building, and the apparent world champion CM Punk was in the building.
And Pat Buck wasn't in the building.
Oh, and Pat Buck, because he was also reprimanded for being involved in some shape, way, or form in that tussle.
So were Cutler and Naka not going to be on TV.
Headset boy, Nakazawa, yes. Who only seems... I just realized, like... So Naka had this... Well, I don't think he stayed home necessarily, but he was off TV the entire time Kenny was off TV too, wasn't he?
Yep.
That's fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, never mind. I'm being too smart for this segment. Sorry.
Because I guarantee he had some stupid clause in his contract where he only appears with Kenny Omega.
Stupid. Any hooser. So they're all home.
Mm-hmm.
And the hundreds and hundreds of fans in Buffalo and the tens and tens watching at home, we're all wondering what the fuck's going to happen. Well, we got our answer within 3 minutes. As the show was introduced by, I want to say it was by Tony and Sockface. I could be wrong. I believe that's who introduced the show. They introduced the show basically without cutting to the ring, without anyone's music hitting. It was just pretty much a cold intro, more or less.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then they go to
pre-record.
Wannabe Tony Montana cokehead himself. Mm-hmm. So Tony Khan appears on the big screen. I wonder if the screen was big enough for everyone to see in the arena. Probably not. Anywho's,
I never sent you the best part of that.
Well, the fact he wanted to see Bob's and...
Oh, I sent you that.
Yes.
I sent you send Bob's and Vagina. Okay, just making sure.
Because he's not old enough to spell boobs and vagina. Anyways, so he comes on the screen and doesn't announce interim titles.
Yeah.
He announces he's right out stripped the trios and world heavyweight championships from Punk and the Bucks.
Well, he doesn't even say he stripped him. He just said, we're going to have new trios and heavyweight champions.
Right.
And he doesn't give a reason why.
He just vacates the belts, doesn't even acknowledge the Bucks and Kenny and CM Punk, just says, fuck all y'all, we're crowning new champs. So he then announces... What?
Oh, go ahead. Go. No, finish.
So he then announces that night they're going to crown the new trios champs with a match between Death Triangle and Orange Cassidy and Best Friends. Because the way to easily solve a vacant title is to have faces face faces. Sure, yeah. We'll do that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then he announces a 6-man tournament that'll lead to the crowning of a new world champion at Dynamite
Arthur
Grand
Ashe.
Slam at Arthur Ashe, which will be a week from tomorrow, the 21st. In which it's a was it, what the fuck did he call it? I'll pull up the graphic right now. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Grand Slam Tournament of Champions, yes. Even though 2 of them have never held a world title in AEW, and a third hasn't held a world title since leaving WWE. Fine.
Right. Here's what I don't get. And the reasoning he gave was Sammy and Darby have both been TNT champions. So why the fuck isn't Wardlow in there?
They're also pillars of the organization.
Yay.
So
by the way, Hangman Page was the 4th pillar that I was forgetting.
Oh, yay. So if you're watching the YouTube, you see the graphic, the original graphic that came out literally within moments after the Tony Khan speech. But I'll read it out to you for those of you only listening on the audio side. So here's what happened was, so they booked the first quarterfinal match for that night, which was Hangman against Bryan Danielson, which I believe they fought each other, twice at the end of 2021?
At the beginning of this year.
The beginning of 2020. All right, I couldn't remember if it was the end.
Well, I think it was once in December and then once in January.
Okay, that's what it was. Yes, that's right. Then they booked a quarterfinal for Friday night on Rampage, which was the 2 former TNT champions, Sammy Guevara, the only 3-time TNT champion, and Darby Allin, who has been the longest reigning champion in TNT championship history, because that's really something to fucking gloat about. So the winners of those 2 matches qualified for 2 semifinal matches happening right here in Albany. Well, I'm in Amsterdam, but I'm 40 minutes away. In Albany, tomorrow night on Dynamite, September 14th. The Jericho would get the winner of Paige Danielson, Moxley getting the winner of Guevara Allen, and then the winners of those two meeting in Arthur Ashe Stadium the following Wednesday, the 21st, when they will crown a new world champion. So, here comes my question.
Mm-hmm.
What's the fucking rush?
Because you don't want to be without a world champion for more than a couple of weeks, according to Tony Khan.
Okay,
because he really wants to jumpstart the MJF program.
There was an easier way to do this.
I know. There's 1,000 easier ways to do it.
Actually, dramatic pause. You know what they should have done?
What's that?
If they really want to stick with the 6-man concept, take out Jericho and put MJF in. That way you had the last reigning champ pre-Punk and the chip winner both getting buys.
But the problem is the chip winner is basically like Money in the Bank.
What about AEW has ever made sense?
Oh, I know.
I'm just saying. At the same time, it hasn't really been because every chip winner called their shot ahead of time?
They have, but they basically said that chip winner gets to call their shot at any time they want.
I'm trying to think who have been the chip winners.
Hangman Page.
That's the only one, right?
I think so.
Because I don't think the chip. I'm trying to think.
Well, because the problem is they went from having the casino. They have the casino battle royal and the casino ladder match.
Right.
And then the casino ladder match for the TNT title was Scorpio Sky, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, basically they said they can call their shot at any time, which means they want to treat it like a Money in the Bank. They just haven't really said it. And I guarantee that's going to be what they do with MJF. Whoever wins this tournament, MJF's going to come out with the chip. Because they're in New York.
There isn't a created bone in the body of anyone working backstage of these shows.
I would also like to remind people that this is their second foray at Arthur Ashe, and they kept claiming that Arthur Ashe was sold out last year, and it was not, and there were hundreds of photographs showing that Arthur Ashe was not sold out. Now, I can predict they have even a lower turnout this year.
I wonder how it's going to smell this year.
That was when everything started coming around about how bad the crowd smelled.
Eddie Hooser. All right. So after Tony Khan does his coked up promo, we get MJF in the ring, acting babyface, has a Josh Allen jersey on and everything. Then Moxley comes out, says, "I don't believe a fucking word you're saying." And then the real MJF comes out. He rips off the Allen jersey and starts shitting on Buffalo. So
he did the classic J.J. Dillon bit with the shirt. I loved it.
Basically, he fed into all the shit that had come out recently about Jericho saying how he was going to come back and be the biggest babyface ever. And then said, "Fuck all y'all, I'm not a babyface."
Yeah, MJF was like, "Wait a second, you're not the booker. Fuck off."
Right. So basically MJF and Moxley just exchanged words, and that was that. They teased getting into it, but then MJF left. Nothing. No big deal. Then we got our opening match finally of the evening.
Back up.
What did I
miss?
Let's
talk about Mox's promo.
Oh, right, because he did give his own promo once MJF actually left. That's right.
And you know something? And I shit on AEW a lot. Because it rightly deserves it. But MJF coming back, doing the heel switch was gold. And Mox's promo was actually really, really good. I will give him that. I give him a golf clap. I thought it was a good promo.
Was it really a heel switch though, per se?
It wasn't a heel switch, but it was because like everyone was expecting him to get the big baby face cheer, and then he just did he was just like, by the way, I haven't changed my colors, and got to be MJF. Because I'm sorry, but MJF is your ratings grabber right now, and the quarterlies proved that when they came out the next day.
True. So then we finally have our opening match. Death Triangle becomes the new trios champs over Orange and Best Friends.
Which I thought they really would have had the Fuckleberry Bunch win that, because the whole thing with Pac saying that Orange Cassidy is a joke And that way they could have very well been like, well, I'm a trios champ now, and I can prove that I can hold a belt. So why don't you give me a shot at the Atlantic title? But hey, that would have made sense. Instead, they go, Pac is the first double champion in AEW because FTR just doesn't exist.
Yeah, but they don't hold two belts within the same company.
I know, but still, like, if you were going to represent another company's titles and also ROH's dead titles on your show, like, you kind of need to acknowledge that this isn't the first guy that's walked to the ring with more than one belt.
Well, you know who made that famous first. Twinkle Toes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
When he had like every world title in the Northern Hemisphere.
No. He had the Impact title and he had the Mega Champion title in AAA and the AEW title. And the thing was, the Impact title, he had the Impact title and the fake TNA belt that literally was a replica belt.
He had 3 titles before belts. That's right.
Right.
That's right. Yeah. Fuckleberry. So we get to Dark Order backstage with Tony. Andrade comes over and offers a contract to Vance again.
Yippee yay.
Evil Uno insists
Dark Order for life.
Basically. Or wait, was it Evil Uno? No, I think it was John Silver this time who was the more vocal one.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it was Silver, actually. Oh, yeah, because I think Silver eventually challenged Andrade, didn't he? Yeah.
So now we're going to get Andrade and Rush against the Beaver Boys. Like, yay.
Yeah. Then we get Tony Storm beating Penelope Ford in that was a
title eliminator match.
Eliminator, thank you. That was what I was looking for. That challenge.
Because rankings don't matter.
Right.
Penelope Ford literally just came back and had like one match back on YouTube.
Rampage. She was on Rampage the week before, I think.
But yeah, so automatically.
But she's also been on YouTube. You're right.
Right. But so automatically it's like, well, here's an eliminator match. Because if we call it an eliminator match, the Basement Goblins go, yay! Versus if WWE calls it a number one contenders match, which they go, this is stupid. And it's literally the same thing.
Speaking of the Basement Goblins. This next pre-tape package made me want to cringe.
Okay.
Just because you can have a celebrity get in the ring and throw one shitty punch during your pre-show of a pay-per-view doesn't mean they should be in the fucking ring for a tag match.
Dude, like, no.
Especially against a group like 2.0 and Hook. Like, who the fuck is going to carry that match to make sure Action Bronson doesn't hurt himself or someone else?
Nobody.
Like who decided that Matt Menard or Fuckleberry's tag Angela Parker? Who the fuck decided these two were going to be able to lead the others?
They're ring generals, baby.
Like, talk about the blind leading the fucking blind. What the fuck? Like,
it's going to be terrible. But they're doing it to try to draw fans to New York because Action Bronson's from the 5 boroughs.
Did they put it on that show? Or did they put it on?
It's going to be a Grand Slam.
Yeah, I was going to say there's no way they put it in Albany because they don't care about Albany.
Yeah, no, they put it on the Grand. They said it was going to be a Grand Slam. Because they're trying to draw people because Action Bronson is from Queens, I believe.
Fuck him. I mean, good for him. He's lost weight. Props to him.
And they'll probably get him to do like a mini rap concert before, like during pre-show or something out of it.
Oh, yay. Fucking yay.
I mean, I know he's got fans. I don't particularly listen to him. I'm not saying I don't like him. I just never like really delved into it. I like watching him on Fuck That's Delicious. It's a great show.
I was going to say, I'd rather watch him cooking than rapping.
Right.
Fuck me. Then I get Acclaimed and Billy Gunn coming out for an apparent match, but then Swerve says, fuck yo shit, comes out, stops.
Because one crowd kind of booed them. They just flip them heel for no reason.
Yeah, basically. Swerve comes out and cuts them off before Max can start his usual rap, which is funny because him and AEW both tweeted out a picture of backstage with the mic pack being labeled for Max
Yep.
under his usual microphone with the silver glitter.
With the silver, yeah. Yep.
And everybody's like, oh, his first rap since the big backstage brawl. Oh, boy. And you get fucking nothing out of it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I know.
Way to fuck that up good. Because if there's anybody we're waiting for to hear talk about that for an entertainment perspective.
Well, because we want the Acclaim to talk shit about what's happening over in Stanford. We don't want them to talk shit about what's happening in our own goddamn locker room.
Too fucking bad. People already are.
I know. But we need to save face, with the network and all that shit. And, and as I said, people can't talk about what's going on because there could be lawsuits. And meanwhile, we like literally Media Scrum freaking narrates what's going to happen. So now we're going to get the Acclaim getting another tag title shot at Arthur Ashe, which means the Acclaimed are winning the tag titles in New York because they're from New York. Like literally, they should just change the name of Grand Slam to They're from New York. MJF, Action Bronson and Hook, the Acclaimed.
You want to know what the real cherry on top would be?
Eddie Kingston. What?
The cherry on top would be booking Private Party for a match on Dynamite.
It'll be on Rampage.
Oh, that's nice. Hey, we know you're from New York, but we're going to put you on the B show instead of the main show. Yes, yep. I know they're both live. But it's still going to be filmed at Arthur Ashe. Whatever. Then we get Jericho and Guevara backstage, interview with Tony. Jericho says he can't wait to face Danielson when he hasn't even fucking wrestled Hangman yet.
Yeah. Because we all knew, but the thing is, I mean, granted, yes, Jericho fucked up and they should have aired that later in the program because you could tell it was a pre-tape and that was editing's problem. But also we all knew Page wasn't winning because he was guilty by association to the Bucks and Omega. And really, you like Danielson already laid down for this guy once earlier this year and did a Broadway with him 2 weeks prior to that. Danielson's not taking another loss right now because Danielson's already been laying down for guys left and right lately.
So dumb. Just that's yeah. I put that as worse than the Impact fuck up that we mentioned earlier. Because this one actually gives away a winner. Even though there was really suspense to hang in thin air for this. Then we get Wardlow coming out and smashing Nese to retain the TNT title. This is my
Tony Nese didn't even get an entrance.
Yeah.
You know what's really funny?
What's that?
You remember what happened when Tony Nese got released by WWE?
Talk to me.
Because usually they do the future endeavors bit, and usually people are like, I'm happy for my time there, yada, yada. Tony Nese decided to take matches in a gasoline can and go, fuck you. Because he literally responded with Triple H with go fuck yourself on Twitter.
Smart.
And since then, what has Tony Nese done?
Nothing.
He sat in the crowd, and when he's had matches, he doesn't even get an entrance. They paired him with Mark Sterling. So you're the joke act.
Because there's something even funnier, by the way, coming up from Rampage.
Okay.
Just so you know.
But yeah, so you're the joke now. And at least you were getting matches in WWE. And they tried to do something with Tony Nese. I remember they really tried. They put a lot, when they first decided, even besides the cruiserweights, they tried putting stock in Tony Nese because of how great of a shape he was in.
Is that the guy they tried doing all the comedy bits with? He was an backstage interviewer 1 week. He was a timekeeper 1 week.
No, that was him.
Oh, right. That was Drew.
Yeah.
Is Drew still in the company?
Drew's still there, yeah.
Okay, because I don't even remember.
Drew did the job to someone last week on SmackDown. Someone, Cross.
Oh, the week before. Oh, not this past week before.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. No, Drew's happy where he is. Drew's doing a lot of more backstage stuff and everything. But Drew is very versatile, and even if he's not in the ring, he's helping people out, and he's happy where he is. Tony Nese is just a narcissist.
You're saying Tony Nese went to the Matt Cardona School of Burning Bridges?
Oh yes, very much so.
So Wardlow smashes knees. Then we get Danielson advancing in the tournament over Hangman.
Because we all saw that coming.
Any opinions on the match or just whatever?
I knew it was coming. It was like foregone conclusion, so I couldn't get into it.
Okay. Then we had a Jungle Boy pre-tape about Christian Luchasaurus. Sure. Christian, by the way, quick update on that.
He's injured.
Torn tricep. It's not even the fucking elbow. It's his fucking tricep.
Oh, so he's got the same injury as Punk?
6 to 8 months is what they said.
That's really odd. 2 people with the same injury.
Show the scar. Show the scar. Yes.
Can you see it with the lighting? Like
I did for a second. I still see it right near the elbow, right on the side of the elbow. Yeah. So, for those of you who are, if you want to know the true testament of whether or not Punk is full of shit, let's see what happens in 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, because this is I had to have my ulnar nerve repaired back in 2015 or 2016.
15.
Yeah, and so what happens when they do that is they have to they go in, and when you have your tricep operated on, they have to go to your ulnar nerve. So that's what you get. And so 6 years later, I still have a scar. So if Punk comes back and he doesn't have a scar, it was another lie.
I feel like I'm turning into your own personal WebMD. Like all the knowledge from your injuries and surgeries, like it's starting to stockpile in my head. So like, there's gonna be a point where you quiz me like surgery number 9. I'll give you a fucking date or whatever. That's just the way the show is going. I don't know why. But yeah, so Christian 6 to 8 months. So hypothetically, Punk should be out the same amount of time if he ever comes back, which we'll touch on later in the show.
Yeah.
Back to Dynamite last week. Where was I? There we are. Then Stokely starts a promo.
But they're short on time.
His crew lays out a production assistant. Oh, right. They were at the top of the stage, weren't they?
Yep.
Yeah, some shit like that. Whatever.
Because he was going to explain why he did what he did for MJF. Why? Because we're forming the new pinnacle yet again.
Yeah, essentially.
Morrissey took the place of Wardlow. The fucking Gun Club took the place of the Revival.
Keep going.
And that was all that was in the pinnacle, right?
Lee Moriarty.
Lee what's his name took the place of Lee Moriarty. Lee Moriarty took the place of who was the other member? I forgot who the 5th person in the pinnacle was after they split from
Spears.
Sean Spears, that's what it is. So Lee Moriarty's the new chairman.
Jesus. It's a horrible.
Which were the fucking Sean Spears men?
That's you know what it might be? He might be on paternity leave.
Oh, okay.
Because Cassie's due within the next month or 2.
Okay.
And I only know that because I've been seeing them posting pictures all over the fucking place of him touching her belly. That's all I know. Then we get to the end of the show with where the fuck is it?
Anticlimactic.
Garcia submits Wheeler Yuta to become the new ROH Pure Champion in his hometown. Code of Honor was observed.
Mm-hmm.
Before and after the match, Danielson comes out to put the belt on Garcia and raises his hand.
Yuta pushes Danielson away. So obviously Yuta is no longer the flavor of the week.
Oh yeah, he did. I was trying to think for a second if he really did that. Yep. Then they basically go off the air with Jericho coming towards the ring looking pissed as the show goes on.
So basically so 2 things. Number 1, so basically we've etched in that Daniel Garcia is now the flavor of the week that's going to be flipping babyface and probably joining the Blackpool Combat Club, which means Wheeler Yuta is going to say fuck you and probably join the Jericho Appreciation Society for no reason. And also, if you would like to see, if you go back and watch that match, the freaking sissy boy slap fight bit that they did in that match, they repeated that from their first encounter at the ROH show for the Pure title and during Blood and Guts. They did that same exact freaking shit. You all need to realize you're not on the indies anymore and that national television gets recorded and people can see this shit.
And put shit side by side if they want to.
Exactly.
Then we get to Rampage. Guevara beats Darby, so Sammy advances to face Moxley this week in the tournament. You can't tell me you didn't see that coming, really? Did you really think Darby had a fucking shot?
You never know anymore. Either way, it would have been a joke, but still.
Then they have a promo package for MJF because reasons.
Because they need ratings.
Then Samoa Joe comes in the ring, starts cutting a promo. He's interrupted by Smart Mark. This is where Tony Nese comes back into play. So he comes out with Tony and Josh Woods, decides to completely ignore that Tony's next to him, and says, "You should defend your TV title against Josh Woods." So we're getting Josh Woods and Samoa Joe for the Ring of Honor TV title on Rampage this coming week.
Ring of Honor does not exist as long as it does not have his own television program.
Correct. Then we get a Miro pre-tape because
God has failed him.
That's actually pretty much what the promo was. You're right. Then Serena Deeb beats Madison Rayne in a random one-on-one match.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Jade and the Baddies being interviewed backstage by Lexi, where they bleeped Jade saying the word shit and cut the shit. Like, really? It's 10:30 at night. Who the fuck cares if she says shit?
They were told to tone down the language.
It's 10:30 on a Friday night. Who gives a flying fuck?
The network that's paying the bills.
Fuck TNT. Then we get this. We get Lexi back to back. Hobbs backstage interview with Lexi because everybody wants a one-on-one interview with Powerhouse Hobbs. And then we close the night with Claudio retaining the Ring of Honor World Title for Dax Harwood.
For no reason, yet another frivolous ROH title defense.
And Code of Honor was observed also there. So,
well, of course, because it's babyface versus babyface.
Yes, of course.
So apparently, we're of the debate of who is going to be in the finals of this title tournament.
I mean, everything logically says Jericho Moxley.
Not quite.
However, there's also how should I put this? The interesting side piece of if there's an oddball in this Blackpool Combat Club compared to the others and their pedigrees, it's Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
So Danielson versus Moxley wouldn't be the dumbest thing in the world for a babyface versus babyface. Although technically, I call Moxley more of a tweener than anything. He kind of rides that shade of gray.
Nah, he's straight out babyface right now with everything going on.
Well, I mean, his tendencies are a blurred line. Let me put it that way. So obviously, Danielson Moxley would be the more intriguing matchup of the two because of the obvious. Jericho Moxley would just.
They just did it.
The only reason I feel Jericho Moxley is more obvious of the two is because I feel like Tony has a weird hard-on for the idea of an outdoor stadium crowd, quote unquote, singing Judas.
But they did it last year.
So?
And he doesn't need to be in the tournament for that to happen.
So? This is me being Tony Khan, by the way, answering your retorts.
Right. Well, see, here's my viewpoint on it. Number one, they need Danielson to go over Jericho because they can't have Danielson do the job to Jericho twice in the matter of 3 weeks. Because they need to have that rubber match. They need they have wholeheartedly decided that they do not want to give up on this JAS versus BCC bullshit.
So you're saying Danielson wins just for the sake of when he wins the title? Because in my opinion, you don't have Danielson make the final unless you're going to have him win.
Well, here's the problem. then Danielson owes Moxley a win from when they faced each other when they first formed the Blackpool Combat Club. And also, and here's the overlying thing, Tony Khan showed his hand by having Mox face off with MJF in that beginning segment. So we all know that Mox is winning the fucking title again in this tournament.
And then what? They're going to set up those two for Full Gear? Or whatever the fuck is next?
Then MJF's going to come out and take the fucking title off him. Tony Khan shows his hand all the time, way too early.
Well, we know that.
So this is what we're going to see. And also, he wants to get this all out of the way because he wants something to lead into his next plan for television. With Rampage actually going live on Fridays. Which is going to be embarrassing as fuck.
Speaking of live Rampage on Fridays, let me just double check here.
Okay.
Was it All Elite? I'm trying to remember what the website is. Is it allelitewrestling.com? I think it is. Yeah, it's allelitewrestling.com. Why didn't it come up in my URL? Who the fuck knows? I'm just trying to remember if these Rampage events. I know this week isn't going to be live. They're going to tape it tonight after.
No, it starts September 28th.
What do you mean? What starts September 28th?
The live Rampage tapings.
No, it's the week after that.
It's not. I thought everywhere it said September 28th.
They're taping Rampage tomorrow night here in Albany, next Wednesday in Queens, and then the following Wednesday in Philly. And then the first Wednesday of October, the first week of October is when they're starting that.
Oh, so they were supposed to start the 28th, so they obviously already couldn't sell enough tickets in Philly.
So here's what they're doing. The first week of October, they have Dynamite Live on the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Then it looks like they're pre-taped. Oh, it depends.
Well, because one of them, Rampage, is going to air on Thursday, like the week they were in Ontario.
Well, no, because it's gonna be Friday the 7th, October the 7th.
Okay.
The first live. The question becomes: are they going early with Rampage and taping Battle of the Belts 4 afterwards? Or are they taping Battle of the Belts beforehand and still airing Rampage live at 10 o'clock? Because they're doing both the same night.
Taping, because they always pre-tape Battle of the Belts.
I'm just saying, are they pre-taping before or after Rampage?
Before.
AKA
if Rampage is going live, they're not going to have Battle of the Belts start at 11 p.m.
Well, here's the other question. Hold on. I got to look at the NBA 2022 schedule because they've been starting their season earlier and earlier every fucking year. I never know when the fuck the first night of games is.
And that's what's going to fuck AEW up majorly.
Which is why I'm looking into this right now. First night of games. Doesn't even tip off until Tuesday the 18th, so it doesn't even fucking matter. Mm-hmm. So it's 2 weeks before. So whatever, that's what they're doing. Then they go to Toronto that following week for the 12th. And the 13th, like you mentioned, Rampage is that Thursday. Yep. Which, because Turner has NHL, that could be the NHL season fucking them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm filling all the blanks here, JJ. I'm filling all the blanks. That's why I'm here. Yeah, ain't that some shit? So the NHL starts technically with an international game on October 7th, but they don't start games in the U.S. until Tuesday, October 11th. Mm-hmm. So, so they're going to have a TNT game that Wednesday night, which doesn't impact them. They'll be on TBS. Mm-hmm. Can a white boy get
a table dance?
Can I get the actual schedule instead of just the fucking? Just give me a fucking press release. I want the fucking schedule. NHL.com website. Don't. Maybe I can just press the Turner schedule. Oh, let's see here. Devils, Flyers, ESPN Plus. Nobody fucking cares. That's not real TV. ESPN. Oh, Hulu, I guess, would be real TV. Okay, I'll give you that. Where's the Turner schedule? Don't fuck with me. Where's the Turner? Oh, here we go. There's the Turner press release, blah, blah, blah. Now show me the schedule. Turner. So they have a doubleheader Wednesday, October 12th on TNT, which, again, doesn't impact them.
Yeah.
Impact them. And then Turner doesn't have any games scheduled until the following Wednesday night for another doubleheader on TNT. So let me see. Anything else? Time changes. Nobody cares. Okay. So, yeah. So, all right. So it's not the NHL. It's just they probably just want to get the fuck out of Canada. There. That's probably what it is. Well, don't book the extra night of hotel and travel. Just fucking get out of Canada. Then they have Dynamite on the following Tuesday night instead of Wednesday night, the 18th in Cincy, and then they're going to be live in Jacksonville for Rampage instead of staying in Cincinnati. What the fuck are we doing? And oh boy, it's the last 2022 event in Jacksonville. Boy, oh boy.
Well, yeah, because it's football season.
Now, why? And now they're going to be doing things so that they're doing two different sites. In Norfolk, October 26th. Mohegan Sun Arena, the 28th. Baltimore,
Wait,
Wednesday.
So Mohegan's getting a Rampage?
Yes. Then they go to Baltimore the first Wednesday of November. Guess what gets Rampage the following week?
What?
Well, Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City.
They're doing.
And they're only doing it for 2 months because then they go back to the combo shows November 9th. They're doing a combo show November 9th in Aganis, the 16th of November in Bridgeport, and then Full Gear Weekend is in Newark the 18th and 19th. They're doing Rampage the 18th and Full Gear on the 19th. So they're actually doing a Saturday pay-per-view. That's interesting. You okay?
No.
You're still laughing at the Mohegan Sun getting a Rampage?
Yes, dude. When I saw because everyone's like AEW's coming to Mohegan. I'm like, I've been in the Mohegan Sun Arena. I've been to concerts there. They hold Raw in Mohegan Sun Arena. It is a lot bigger than your typical AEW venue.
And they're hosting part of the WNBA finals this week because the Sun are playing the Las Vegas Aces. Just to continue on with the bigger arena thing.
It's a very large arena. It's larger than the XL Center.
Should have done Turning Stone if they were going to go that route. Because Turning Stone's a small arena.
They should have done the fucking Wolf's Den.
For those of you
unaware, the Wolf's Den of Mohegan Sun is where the free music concerts are.
Fuck that. They could have done it right in the middle of the casino floor at Turning Stone.
Well, that's basically
like legit. Just put it right next to the craps tables. There's a space there.
Even with them giving away tickets to high rollers, that place is going to be so fucking empty.
I know.
Like, it had once again got in the debate with fucking Basement Goblins on SC Scoop's site about it. I was just like, they can't fill Dynamite a third full. And they're like, blah, 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 blah. Don't believe your eyes, believe the ticket numbers.
This reminds me. So they're doing that show October 28th.
Mm-hmm.
I'm halfway curious. October 28th for WWE. Please hold. I mean...
Are you looking at what city they're running in that night?
Okay. That's September. No, that's October 28th, because that would be Smackdown.
Yes.
They're in St. Louis that night.
Okay.
They're in Charlotte for Raw and then St. Louis for SmackDown.
Okay.
And they don't even have NXT booked. That's fucking weird. Oh, they only show the live events on here. That's why. Because they don't sell tickets for fucking. That's why.
Right. And NXT house shows get run through their own private server.
By the way, how about bad timing for going through the Cali area when you're trying to really push Damage Control as heels. They're coming through San Jose next Monday night.
Oh boy.
That's
all right. Bailey's good at healing the crowd that cheers her.
Oh, I understand, but just bad timing. Bad timing. The 1 out of maybe 2 times a year you run through that California leg of your touring. Whatever. All right, so let's get back on track with AEW.
Yeah.
Number
we
one.
Got some screenshots.
Number one. Jake Hager signed an extension recently with AEW. This is my shock face.
Yay. So what? He's going to wrestle another 3 matches next year?
Essentially. Number 2. Malachi Black officially released 180-day non-compete, contrary to the usual 90 from WWE. Also announced, I think it was the day after we recorded last week's show, Malachi Black had actually pulled out from an event over the weekend in the Northeast due to health issues. So there's the running rumor that's
mental
been prevailing
health.
Is that a lot of mental health stuff.
I believe it.
I'm not gonna. You can't bash the dude if that's actually the truth.
Right. I believe he actually had some, because he's spoken about having past issues, and I think this last year just really got to him. I think maybe the last 18 months. I think getting released from WWE really got to him, and then going to AEW thinking it was going to be a new fresh start for him, and then realizing that the grass is not always greener, and just kind of treading water during it and thinking that things are going to get going, and then just not really being happy where he was and being away from his wife. And then just everything just came crashing back. And he's like, listen, I need time to myself. And that's why. And then Tony Khan has to be Mr. Skeptic and be like, you're going to go back to WWE and leave the Judgment Day. And now I don't have the House of Black anymore.
House of Black.
And then dumbass fucking wannabe dirt sheets going, former AEW star Malachi Black photographed recently with WWE star Zelina Vega. They're married!
They're married!
Fucking seriously. Slow news day.
Brain damage. Speaking of Zelina Vega, where the fuck has she been on TV?
She's been on vacation.
Is that really what it's been?
Yeah.
Just like what the mother says about Forrest Gump's father. He's on vacation.
No, they gave her legit, like after she dropped the tag belt to Carmella, like they gave because she would requested like having a few months off.
Dye your hair as much as you want, cosplay as much as you want, twitch your little heart away. It's essentially what it was. All right, so we obviously have to follow up on all this Punk, Young Bucks, Omega shit before we move on.
Were we going to cover the whole shit that people were told at Dynamite? Because I know you had that loaded up before.
We'll keep that for last.
Okay. All right.
So I'm going to run through a bunch of headlines I'm just randomly seeing from the last few days.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll get your general opinion about them.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, Omega and Bucks no longer advertise for Full Gear in November.
Okay.
Number 2, as I scroll down, Being the Elite, their YouTube show, on hiatus until further notice.
Well, considering the video clip that Kenny shot and released yesterday, I don't fucking, I'm glad.
Number 3. What was the third one? There was a third one. Hang on. Bear with me. All right, so maybe there was no number 3. Eric Bischoff says CM Punk humiliated Tony Khan, and he can't imagine a scenario where you'd want to keep that kind of guy around.
Exactly.
Was there one other thing? Nope, that's it. Okay.
Punk out on injury that they say happened during the match, but we all know happened during the backstage fight.
Kenny Omega's appearance on Swerve Strickland's podcast postponed due to unfortunate circumstances. So
I guess I'm thinking that's part of his EVP contract.
And the other thing, because I don't think we met. You'll have to remind me if we mentioned this last week or not.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first thing I want to address out of all the headlines.
Okay.
Did we address the Young Bucks reportedly sending out feelers?
Yes.
Did we address that last week?
Yes.
Okay.
Or no, we didn't. You just messaged me about it.
Okay. So apparently,
by the way, also, I don't know if you saw today, apparently it was a release that during his hiatus, Kenny sent out feelers.
No. So reportedly, Matt and Nick Jackson sent out feelers to WWE via a friend of theirs that's apparently on the roster.
Kevin Owens.
Sure, we'll roll with that. I don't fucking care. Over under on how many seconds it took Triple H to start laughing in their faces.
0.02.
Okay, that's a good over under. I like that. I like to think it was pretty instantaneous.
I don't know if that quote that I sent you from Michaels is true or not, but goddamn, that shit was funny.
Oh, let me pull that up real quick because I have it saved.
It came from Sportskeeda, so I don't know.
It's still funny as fuck.
I know.
I thought I saved it. I'll open up our chat. Please hold. Quote, of course the Young Bucks will be welcomed here. We could start a minis division with them. They could also team up with Micro Man and become our NXT 2.0 minis trios champions. Oh, fuck off, Sean. Wow. Oh,
some jackass tried to say the Young Bucks are the same size as Shawn Michaels.
I mean,
no.
Are they?
No. Shawn's 4 inches taller than both of them. And Shawn looks like a wrestler.
Is he really? 6'1". Okay, hang on. Where are the Bucks?
5'7".
Of course, it's not in the fucking preview, but I open the actual Wikipedia page. 5'10".
Bullshit. They are 5'7" with lifts.
It says build height, so just roll with it for me, okay?
And it's Wikipedia.
True.
Someone probably went in and edited that after the fucking sports.
Did you know that they claim one of their trainers is Marty Jannetty? I did not know this.
Yeah, they claim it. That just because you drank with the dude a couple times doesn't mean he's your trainer.
Drank or... Never mind.
They claim the Canyon was one of their trainers too.
Who better than Canyon?
Everybody.
All right, so let's just take everything for face value with this.
So apparently, a fight did break out, and it wasn't kayfabe. At least that's what we are led to believe now. Punk got injured during it. There's wild allegations of what happened here and there from both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it involved Punk and Ace Steel and Ace Steel's wife and the Bucks and Omega and the freaking head lawyer in charge there, that chick.
Well, no, because Kenny was trying to save Larry and get him out of the locker room.
Mm-hmm, sure. A lot of drama surrounding Punk's new dog. Like, Punk, why was your dog there? I love Titus. I don't bring Titus to shows. Especially because, like, Larry got out into the arena before they started and was scared out of his freaking wits.
Dummies. All right, so let's address things this way.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to address the futures of all, we'll just say 5 individuals for now.
Okay.
Let's start with Ace Steel.
He's gone.
Kenny Omega.
He'll be back eventually.
Matt and Nick.
They'll be back eventually.
And then adding into the picture, by the way, the fact he got injured in a fucking sissy fight backstage.
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk.
I believe he'll be back and he'll have 3 months left on whatever contract he has, and he's hardly going to get used. If so, I feel like, in all honesty, remember how I've talked before about how I have a feeling that Brock has this thing in his freaking contract where like he always has to be in a title program.
Uh-huh. I
feel like that's what happened with Punk, where he said this and that, but part of my, like when he signed the contract is this has to be this up until this, and it has to lead to me winning the title, and once I win the title, I can only be involved in championship programs, which is why he won the title and then vacated it, and then won the title again, and they were probably going to vacate it afterwards because of apparently All that shit that Punk said at the scrum, he told Tony he was going to say 2 weeks prior.
So he had a Hogan clause in his contract.
Yes.
It's the easiest way for me to sum it up.
Yes.
He had the that doesn't work for me, brother clause.
Exactly.
Fuck.
And Tony kind of stupid enough to agree to it.
Yeah. All right. So the final thing that JJ wants me to bring up is this. Some notes that came down from
The Buffalo Show.
The Buffalo Show. Now, obviously, if you're just listening, you can't see this, so I'll read them off to you. We begin with the title, A Few Notes from Live Attendance at Dynamite. This comes from user Collier on Reddit in the Squared Circle forum. Here are the notes. Number 1, when Tony came on screen early, he was widely booed. Shocker. Number 2, Swerve had nuclear heat interrupting the Acclaimed, which sounds about right. You can kind of hear it on the broadcast.
Yeah.
Number 3, obviously Garcia was wildly over. Ending was mildly spoiled for us when a guy showed up with leaf blowers and one of the pyro guys really cared about a crate all of a sudden.
So that's how they did the confetti, was with leaf blowers. They don't even have the actual machines.
Yikes. Number 4.
Either that or they had guys out there with leaf blowers to like blow the stuff away for the janitors after it.
Right.
Or no, so they could get it out of the ring before they shot Dynamite.
Rampage.
Yeah,
Rampage.
Rampage, yeah.
Number 4, between Dynamite and Rampage, Tony came out to booze again and proclaimed that he put the best 3 hours of Dynamite and Rampage in the history of the company, which was widely laughed off. Okay, good to see Buffalo has a sense of humor. And then finally, number 5, on the floor, security was wild during Rampage, running around and getting everyone to put their phones away and threatening to kick folks out. It was quite the scene. Really left us with a bad taste in our mouths.
So apparently Tony doesn't want Rampage spoilers. God damn it!
I know. And blame the guys that are going live right now. I got it.
Yeah. Apparently Tony doesn't want Rampage spoilers coming out, and that's one of the reasons why he's going to have Rampage start going live, is because he thinks that the reason people don't watch it is because spoilers are out. People don't watch it because it's the fucking B show. You can't, because he can't blame the time slot anymore because it's been put on in different time slots, including primetime time slots, and no one fucking watches it.
Correct.
I mean, what was it? What did they do? 393K this week?
Yes.
Yeah. Which, by the way, the ratings for Dynamite, everyone's like, oh, they were up 15,000 people for the average. Why? Because at the beginning, for Q1, 1.2 million people tuned in. Why? Because they wanted to know what was happening and because MJF was there. By the end of the show, they lost over 400,000 viewers. So, yeah, your average was up. Your overall was embarrassing. And now we're going to see what happens.
You want to see this. You don't want to see this.
Right. And considering the fact that All Out is supposed to be your WrestleMania, and this was technically your post-WrestleMania Raw for all intents and purposes, you did not pick up any new viewers at all. No. Even with, because everyone's like, oh, blah, 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 they had Clash of the Castle, but AEW got all the press this weekend, and yada, yada, yada. And that's why everyone tuned in. Guess what? Everyone tuning in still equated to less than the most viewers you've ever had on your show, which is 1.3 million. So it shows that it doesn't matter how much internet buzz you get. And even with the stories being picked up by the New York Post and Sports Illustrated, people still didn't care. And so what happens now? And I referenced this last week when I said, whether it's a shoot or whether it's a work, and on the side of whether it's a shoot, I said, this is going to look embarrassing for you when you have to renegotiate your contract with the network in a month or so. And that's why Kenny and the Bucks are advertised for Full Gear right now, because he's got to keep it quiet, because this is your EVPs who don't know how to act like EVPs because they shouldn't have that title to begin with, which is why them sending out feelers is bullshit. Kenny sending out feelers is bullshit, because all Trips is going to look at it and go, you can't, no, you're poison. You're poison to your own company.
No.
Why would I want anything? And Kenny coming back and showing that 200,000 people shut off the TV when he did it. They're not going to be interested in Kenny Omega. We don't want people. We don't want to lose viewers.
Can we just say the best part of this, by the way?
Oh, please.
If you recall, Mr. Cody Rhodes did an interview with, don't quote me, I'm pretty sure it was Ariel Helwani. Could be wrong. No, it was Brandon Walker from Barstool Sports, because they still had their wrestling podcast at the time. So I'm not sure if it was around the new year or just before the new year at the end of 2021. But one of the things asked by Brandon Walker, and I'll give all credit to him, he asked what to expect in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And Cody's answer, to dumb it down and simplify it, he basically said it's going to be mass chaos between the originals and the new blood. Mm-hmm. Being new blood meaning all the WWE transports.
Yep.
Sure enough, what the fuck's been going on?
Mm-hmm.
So, which leads me to Cody Rhodes' tweet saying, what the fuck did he say?
He said, y'all will know why I left.
Yes.
But WWE made him delete that because we don't acknowledge the competition straightforward. We can make little jabs here and there without acknowledging it. And I'm telling you, that's going to be another reason Cody stays in the doghouse when he comes back.
Still pretty funny if you ask me.
Well, yeah, but still, at the same time, it's like Cody tried to be like, see, I told you so. It's like, Cody, you're a cunt. We already know you're a cunt. It doesn't matter.
You're a cunt. He's a cunt.
Exactly. But then, for anyone, so did you see the video clip of Kenny that came out yesterday?
No.
So apparently it's already been taken down, but it was up for a little bit. But this is why Being the Elite isn't going to be taped for a bit, because they were taping Being the Elite, and a clip came out, and it was a voiceover of CM Punk saying, "You've got guys that call themselves EVPs that couldn't manage a target," and it's Kenny standing there pressing buttons on a cash register, and then it opens and he steals the money and puts it in his pocket and looks around like this. Because that's what a mature executive vice president does when they are faced with suspension and faced with losing their job. That's adult.
I hate this shit. I really do sometimes.
Like I said before, all four of them are cancers, and multiple wrongs don't make a right. Because people are like, well, Punk was the professional and all this. No, he fucking wasn't. No, he wasn't. You know something? I fucking hate them too, but I wouldn't go in front of media scrum when I'm trying to push my own fucking company, the place that puts the money into my pocket, and fucking publicly start shit that you know is going to start shit backstage. Because then you very well can't say, I always say to people, my door's always open, let's fucking go. And then when people show up at your door and shit happens, hi. Universe answers. By the way, thank you to the universe in advance. I thank you very much. I thank karma, because as I said last week, karma hits people pretty hard. And when you fake an injury, stuff happens. But if I don't see a scar when he comes back, ooh, that's going to be double karma.
Anyways, before we move on to WWE stuff, let me remind you of our friends over at DraftKings. Oh, yeah, baby. NFL season kicked off this past weekend. It was a crazy week. It was also a crazy week of college football as well. And guess what? The new season has kicked off for the NFL. It already kicked off for college football. But you can get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NFL. And, of course, you can bet everything else like college football, WNBA, UFC, Major League Baseball while it's still in season. And to celebrate the return of football, DraftKings is giving new customers a can't-miss offer where when you bet just $5 on any football game, you get $200 in free bets instantly. In fact, a friend of mine did it themselves. It comes to an $825 bet increments. Sounds like a win to me. 5 to get 200. That's 40 to 1 on your money, baby. If you want more action for the rest of week 2 coming up, everyone can experience the thrill of the DraftKings early win promotion. Get up 7, you win. That's right. But on any NFL team of your choice, if your team leads by 7 or more, you get paid instantly, even if the team loses outright. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code 518 to get $200 in free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet on any football game, college or pro. That's code 518 only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older and physically present in New York. Bonus issued as free bets. One early win token issued at opt-in. Money line bets only. Deposit and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/football terms. Gambling problem? Call 877-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Now I move on to WWE, which is going chronological order of the events, starting with NXT last Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So we bookend with Bate and Breaker. Bate was cutting a promo to start the show, was interrupted and attacked by Gallus. Braun saves the day. We close the show with Bate and Braun beating the Coffee Brothers, and then JD McDonough attacks both Braun and Bate technically, kind of, sort of ish. Do we like the fact they're keeping McDonough relevant in this kind of area?
No, and I have a sinking feeling I know where this is going.
Triple threat at Halloween Havoc?
No.
Go ahead.
No, let's go through the results, and then I'll tell you what I feel like is going to happen.
Okie dokie, Smokey. Then going back to the beginning after the Bate promo and stuff, we had Pretty Deadly Lash Legend backstage. Yay. Then they show Miko Satomura and Cora Jade interacting backstage from After Worlds Collide. Cora challenges Miko, but then she announces she already accepted a challenge for somebody else for that NXT show, and it happened to be Roxanne Perez. Then we get Nikki Ash and Doudrop beating Toxic Attraction in a tag match. Because spoiler alert, it looks like Toxic Attraction is, as the tag team Toxic Attraction, is pretty much done in NXT from the looks of it. We'll see what happens.
But we don't know because they really haven't gotten over with the Smackdown crowd.
And Mandy still has the Unified Women's title. Then we get Apollo Crews with a vignette about Grayson Waller with the fake red eye, it looks like. Okay. Then McDonough.
I've had a scratch cornea. You don't get a red eye like that.
No. Then we have McDonough beating Wes Lee in singles action. Then an interaction with Tony D, Stacks, and Pretty Deadly backstage. Okay.
Yay.
Great. Pretty Deadly doesn't like espresso. They like tea. Who cares? You know what's amazing?
What?
It's amazing how good you can look when you finally face someone who knows the fuck they're doing. Roxanne Perez facing Miko Satomura.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing how good you can look when somebody knows what they're doing across from you.
That was a good match.
It was a good match. Miko gets the win. And then, I'm trying to remember, did Roxanne get jumped after the fact? I didn't write it down.
She got, so Miko, yeah.
Because I know Cora was ringside.
Yeah, Cora did something to get Roxanne pinned, and then she attacked Miko afterwards.
Oh, right. Okay. Then we get a Damon Kemp pre-tape talking about how he killed the diamond mine. Sure.
So that's the route we're going with this. Is Diamond Mine is dead, and Damon Kemp is the big bad out of it.
Yep.
I mean, it's different. I'll give him that.
Swerve, bro. Then we get this random ass segment of fucking the dyad. They got a table full of smiley face buttons.
They're a cult. They're recruiting. They're Hare Krishnas. I just showed my age.
Yeah. Kiana James is there. Whatever, they throw the button in the trash.
I don't really care about Kiana James, but I like Kiana James' assistant. I'll tell you that much.
And then they get Ariana Grace. Now apparently Kiana and Ariana Grace are taming starting this week.
I thought it was Kiana and Stratton.
No, Kiana and Ariana Grace. Because Ariana Grace was in the segment, and they both share hatred for Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark. So, like, fuck it, let's team against them.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
Yeah. Then after that, we get Ricochet beating Trick Williams with Mello on commentary. Then we have another Tony D and Stacks backstage segment. This one with Cameron Grimes. Grimes is offered a chance to join the family. Grimes says, fuck you. And then Grimes gets put through a table by Tony D.
Get Grimes out of NXT.
Right. Then we apparently have a new female superstar coming. Sol Ruka.
Yeah.
Some surfer chick. we'll see.
Yeah.
I guess.
The surfer gimmick didn't work for Grayson Waller. How's it going to work for this chick?
Then we get the Creeds and Ivy backstage interview interrupted by Pretty Deadly.
Mm-hmm.
And then they make a title rematch for this coming week, for tonight, actually, which is the 1 year
basically
anniversary.
Taboo Tuesday.
Except they already revealed the stipulation for their tag title match.
Yeah,
tonight.
you know something they did? They said the fans get to vote, but they never revealed how the fans could vote or where to vote.
And they already revealed the stipulation for the tag title match, so fuck all, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was announced on Raw last night, spoiler alert, since we're not on Raw yet. It's going to be a steel cage match to kick off the show tonight between Pretty Deadly and the fucking Creeds.
I hate when cage matches open shows.
Then we had Axiom win the first in the best of 3 against Nathan Frazier.
Mm-hmm.
A Quincy Elliott vignette. Apparently he's debuting tonight.
Yep.
Yay.
I hate to tell you, Quincy, but I'm a former moped owner, and you were too big for that style of moped. You need one size up.
Nobody cares after Macklemore's song. What was it? Downtown?
I don't know. I don't listen to Macklemore.
I'll hook you up. It's okay.
No, thank you.
Fine. Fuck you. What are you drinking now?
Root beer? Diet root beer?
Is that Pib?
No, it's Polar.
Oh, Polar. I didn't recognize the logo. It's a new logo. Sorry. Then we got Trick and Mello being interviewed backstage. Trick was talking about putting his belt on the line. Mystery opponent, apparently.
Yeah, Taboo Tuesday voting. Yeah.
The WWE Universe gets to decide the challenger.
But you don't get to know where to vote on it.
Right. And then we ended the show. Oh, right. Then we got the tag match to end the show. So that's that. So, real quick, here's the rundown for tonight's NXT for those of you listening or watching before the show goes on the air on the 13th of September.
Mm-hmm.
We already mentioned the Carmelo Hayes mystery opponent for his title match. We
Mm-hmm.
mentioned the tag title cage match.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Cameron Grimes, I don't know if he's booked in an actual match. Oh, they have a pull-up, by the way, for the Mello match. But the options are Von Wagner, Wesley, or Joe Gacy.
Gee, I wonder who's going to win that.
Yeah. Let's see here. So apparently Grimes is going to be looking for a partner at some point during the show because he's in a tag match
face
against
the dyad.
No,
Okay.
he's in a tag match against Tony D and
And
Stacks.
Stacks.
Oh God.
Then we have, like I mentioned already, Ariana Grace and Kiana James against Nikita and Zoe.
Ugh.
We're also going to have Fallon Henley and Lash Legend one-on-one.
Oh, God.
And then, you remember that security guard that keeps calling Javier Bernal a prick?
Yeah, the head of security that's really a student there, yeah.
Hank Walker's his name. And they're apparently going to go one-on-one tonight.
Yay, big body Javi versus Hank. Javi versus Hank.
Big body Javi. All right. So
you know what's going to happen with all this NXT shit?
What?
Because obviously we found out that with Trips running the main program that Sean has been booking NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Sean's kind of out of ideas. This is going to lead towards War Games.
Between who and who?
Well, you see,
At
here's
this
the
point,
thing.
I'm fucking confused.
So here's the thing: was prior to the announcement that NXT UK was closing, and prior to Ilya Dragunov having to vacate the title because of injury, Tyler Bate was a heel. So my guess is we're going to see Tyler Bate turn on Braun Breaker at some point in the next few weeks, and we're going to set up NXT 2.0 versus the disgruntled former NXT UK War Games, where it will be McDonough, Bate, and Gallus, all three of them, versus Braun Breaker, the Creed brothers, and I'm not sure who the last two will be, possibly Briggs and Jensen.
I was going to suggest Cameron Grimes and Wesley.
It's a possibility, but we got to see.
Also depends on if Wesley wins the North American title tonight.
Mm-hmm. But that's where I see this going.
Potential. There's potential there. I'll give you
I'm
that
not a fan of it.
Well,
because it's basically the rehash of last year with Black and Gold versus 2.0, and 2.0 gets to go over again to show dominance, and I don't give a fuck.
Basically. All right, moving on to SmackDown. Obviously, the big headline to touch on before we get on the show is Pat McAfee stepping away from the Smackdown booth for a few months because he got a gig with ESPN's College Game Day show on Saturdays.
But he's not gone for good.
Right. He's going to be coming back after the season. So College Game Day typically runs all the way through the first weekend of December. And then they take off until around the time of the college football playoff, which is New Year's Eve-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second or first
games.
Monday of January.
Yeah.
So basically, he'll be back in the beginning of December is what we're looking at.
Right. He'll be back for the holidays, and then he'll be back at the end of January. So, yeah.
Which means more Corey Graves. You're welcome. SmackDown. Imperium beats the Brawling Brutes in a 6-man tag that I couldn't turn my TV off for it personally.
Good shit.
What's there not to love?
Right. It's good shit.
You've got let me think here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, all European wrestlers.
Yeah, that's what we said last week.
Yeah. You got 6 Europeans that don't mind going stiff on each other.
Yeah.
Sure, fuck it. Then we get a promo segment with Solo Sikoa officially joined the Bloodline. Drew then comes out with a chair and chases them all out of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Raquel and Aaliyah beat Toxic Attraction in a non-title match.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get the Fatal 5-Way, which is dumb as fuck. We had Ronda make Natty tap. Then Ronda makes Lacey Evans tap the same time Sonya makes Xia Li tap. And that was all in the first 60 seconds.
Yep.
And then we had Ronda eventually eliminate Sonya to earn the title shot at Extreme Rules against
Liv.
I almost said Lacey Evans. Jesus. Talk about a step down. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get Sammy and the Bloodline talking backstage about if anyone's going to be out there or not during Solo's match with Drew in the main event. Eventually, they decide everyone's going to be out there. All 3 of them will be in the corner. Then we get Ronda and Shayna talking backstage. Ronda basically saying, if you want to break bones again, come find me. Because that's fucking nice to say.
Mm-hmm.
Then Profits and Hit Row beat Maximum Male Models and Los Lotharios in 8-man tag action. Yeah. Did you see the digital exclusive that came out after the fact, after the show went off the air?
I did not.
So they posted a short 1-minute clip of the Maximum Male Models locker room after.
Oh, yes. I didn't see that.
And the final line by Mr. Dupree was, you have to get through the day to get to the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he walks out of the picture. Can we please get him back as LA Knight and just get him out of this shit?
I prefer Max Dupree.
I just let Maxine run that shit. Then we get Alpha Academy doing an in-ring promo, basically Gable shitting on Portland, and then Braun comes out and lays out Alpha Academy. Yay. Then there was a backstage interview.
Oh, by the way, Basement Goblin's trying to claim that they're trying to turn Braun into Wardlow. Because he did a powerbomb.
Braun came.
Because nobody else in WWE has ever done a powerbomb, especially in the last year. And Braun came first. Yes, I know.
Thank you. Drew backstage interview. Then we get to the main event. Bloodline keeps trying to interfere. Profits eventually show up and try to even the odds. And Drew eventually wins by DQ, although it's never announced because.
But here's the weird thing: is going in that the graphic announced was that it was a no DQ match, and that's what really makes no sense.
Was
they
it?
yes,
because it was never announced during the show. It was a no DQ match.
They put it up on their social media like earlier in the week. It was Drew versus Solo no DQ match.
Well, Samantha never fucking announced it, so apparently it wasn't a no DQ match.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying it's Samantha's fault. I'm just saying it's
right.
Somebody not remember what the fuck they put on social media over the week, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So the show ends with Karrion Kross causing the bell to ring to throw the match out as he chokes out Drew to go off the air.
Goes to black and white, which is cool.
Liked the black and white switch when Karrion came on the screen. I even liked the gradual fade out with audio still on for a couple seconds during the show. I thought it was a nice touch. It was different. It was, it was different. That's the biggest thing. We like different.
Mm-hmm.
We like shit that doesn't remind us of VKM.
Right.
That didn't remind us of VKM, so good on.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was SmackDown. Anything you want to touch on regarding SmackDown before we moved on?
Not really. I think it was nothing particularly bad. It was just kind of run of the mill show. I think they're still picking up their steam to putting in these new storylines and stuff going forward because they just got Clash of the Castle out of the way.
Extreme Rules, if I remember correctly, is first weekend of October.
I believe
Don't quote me on that. I'm not.
It's 3 weeks, so yeah.
October
I think so.
8th. Yeah, it's the second Saturday of October. October 8th in Philadelphia. Because where the fuck else would you have Extreme Rules?
Plenty of other places. They just realized, hey, we can do it in Philly this year.
And the night before, they also have an Undertaker one-man show.
That's right. They've really been pulling him to do a lot of those lately for the pay-per-view weekends.
And they must be pre-taping SmackDown the week before or in Winnipeg because
there's nothing
they have
listed
no
for that
SmackDown listed for the night before Extreme Rules.
Interesting.
Then they go to Barclays on Monday after that, and then New Orleans for SmackDown the 14th.
Nice.
Maybe they didn't want to clash with anybody who wanted to go see the one-man show for Taker. That'd be my guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's all I can think of. All right. So let's get finally to Raw from last night, the 12th of September. We start with Rollins cutting an in-ring promo saying he's not interested in a rematch with Riddle. He wants championship gold. Then Riddle comes out and attacks Seth and chases Seth away. And then while Riddle gets back to the ring, the Judgment Day comes out to offer Riddle a spot.
Yeah.
Okay. Riddle obviously declined.
Yeah.
And then we get Balor eventually beating Riddle after a distraction from Seth Rollins. And then Seth eventually delivers a stomp to Riddle after the fact.
Yeah.
A lot to unpack there. Obviously, we're leading towards Seth and Riddle Extreme Rules.
Right.
If you're Booker Man, if you're the pencil, what stipulation are you putting them in?
Let's see here. It's Philly. I mean, it's gonna be a no DQ match with just some window dressing to make it something different. So I'm guessing Falls Count Anywhere.
I was gonna say they're just gonna dress up as a Philly street fight, but
that would have been like the second thing I say, but that's still Falls Count Anywhere. Like,
by the way, one quick thing about SmackDown, I forgot to even ask you. When the fuck do we see the Wise Man come back?
I think he's coming back. It's relatively soon. They gave him some vacation time after SummerSlam, but I think he's due to be back in the next few weeks.
I'll bring up another thing about Mr. Heyman after we get through Raw, because there was a question put out there that I don't know. I'm on the fence about it.
Okay.
Then we get Damage Control, the backstage interview, promoting the tag title match later on. And we get a pre-tape promo of Dom. Sure.
I love how the thing's going around now of what did Rhea whisper in Dom's ear? You fill in the blanks.
I'm going to tie you up and make you my bitch tonight.
My guess is boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Fucking kindergarten cop. The worst part is I was going to say, and it was a boy who said that in the movie, but then Rhea is his poppy, so that.
But still.
Oh, fuck, JJ. You kill me. Then we get a package about Johnny, followed by Theory and Gable backstage. Because they already teased that it was going to be Gable in Johnny's return match, so Theory's just shitting on Johnny. Then we got Damage Control become the new women's tag team champions over Lee and Raquel. This is my shock face.
Right. I didn't I say this right before Clash of the Castle?
Because they did the whole pin the illegal man bit. That's why.
Right. But
That's the
still,
whole
it
reason nobody
was
was shocked about it.
right. But still, so now we know that, here they are, and this will give a chance for, them to continue the program with Alexa and Asuka until Naomi and Sasha are ready to come back.
So, question:
Mm-hmm.
do we just go with the automatic let's give them all the belts gimmick and put the belt on Bayley at Extreme Rules?
Nope.
Thank you. Next, Ray pleads with Dom backstage. Dom doesn't look at him, let alone talk to him.
Okay, that was a terrible segment. Because here's the reason.
With who? Dom or Ray?
Both. Because they have Ray come in and be like, listen to me. And Dom just sitting there doing like the Brock hop. Like, Dominic shows that, like, I love it because, like, Jim Cornette always calls Johnny Gargano Johnny Same Face. Dominic is far worse.
Johnny Same. Fucking God.
Yeah. Dominic is far worse at not showing any emotion whatsoever. And number two, if you really want to get this kid over as a fucking heel, and part of this, the moment Ray walked into frame and said, listen to me, Dominic should have just turned and knocked him the hell out.
That's exactly what the fuck I was just thinking, too. As the sun ever so glances upon thy face. That's exactly what the fuck I was just gonna say. So good on you. Yeah, that would have been pretty funny. Yeah. Then after Ray and Dom, we have Johnny beating Chad Gable in his return match.
Bravo.
And then after the match, when he's walking back up the stage, Theory lays out Johnny on the entrance ramp with his briefcase to the back.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you something. And I remember to watch it because I knew it was going to be a good match. We all knew it was because we got two guys who were former amateur wrestlers who came up in NXT together, and I was just like, wait, DIY and American Alpha. Like, I can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah.
But crazy. Yeah, and it was just, I was extremely happy with that match. And the crowd reciprocated. You got the "This is awesome" chant, and there was not a single high spot in that match.
Nope. It was just...
And there might have been one dive. But
it was pretty much all basics, really.
Exactly. It proves it can be done.
No comment. So we come back from break, and Theory's still in the ring. He starts a promo. He gets interrupted by KO. Yeah, and then eventually they get into a brawl. So it's weird because obviously everything points to Theory Gargano at some point, but it's almost like they're using KO as like the way to make it turn into a slow burn. Yeah,
KO's there to be the kingmaker. KO's there to make the kid look like $1 million, and at the end, like if he loses to KO, it doesn't look bad. Because he's still like number one. He's like, that's the thing is everyone's like they've been burying Theory ever since Vince left. I was like, Theory has the Money in the Bank briefcase. It doesn't matter what happens to him for the next however many months left in the run of it. As long as he has a briefcase, that's the chip. It doesn't matter what you do. If he's on TV, he's not getting buried.
And let's throw this out there too, because I feel like this is the main reason people are even saying that. Mm-hmm. He's not the first guy to win the briefcase and try multiple times to cash in and have it be a non-cash in.
Right.
Like, it's like the first time a heel has gone through this shit with the briefcase.
Right.
Like, you can't just use that as your excuse because now it's Theory's briefcase. Like, fuck off.
It was like when Miz held the briefcase, everyone fully expected Miz to cash in and lose because it was Miz. And then when he did, holy shit.
Right. Just fucking, I hate people sometimes. Then we get Bianca's open challenge for the Raw Women's title. Sonya Deville answers and loses. Then Bayley comes out after, says she'll fight Bianca when the time is right. Damage Control then attacks her. Asuka and Alexa came out to make the save. Same shit, different Raw, basically. Mm-hmm. Then Omos decided to squash two poor locals named Ryan Toombs and Cash Marazi, I think were their names.
Yeah.
You know what this is leading to? I'm going to give it to you right now.
Have Braun come out and crush him and have him go away?
I don't know about the going away part, but yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like, I can't. The dude's useless. He is so useless.
Tell them that. Edge and Ray backstage. Edge says, "Fuck you, I'm gonna kill him." Then we got Seth and Bobby backstage. Bobby basically saying, "You're not the man unless you have
Smart
gold."
Bobby because he has glasses.
Yeah, doing the whole Tyler Bate thing or whatever. And then
Wife hates it when I do this.
that doesn't shock me. And then basically they set up a U.S. title match for next week on Raw.
Which, unfortunately, we're going to get some predictability in that, where Riddle's going to cost him the victory, but still.
Sure. Then we get a pre-tape of Miz from home, apparently trying to be interviewed by WWE for something or another.
And if you were like me, who is like a fan of like the Paranormal Activity movies, you're watching that back window the whole time.
I was personally watching the blanket next to the Miz where he was sitting, but okay.
That too, yeah. He popped up in that window at the very last second when Miz started getting up.
Yep. So Loomis was in his house when he left.
And he made a picture.
Cliffhanger. Yeah. Yeah, made a picture of the kids and Miz and Mrs.
I still fucking
Not
love...
a shameless plug at all for the show, by the way.
I still fucking love that this entire scenario, the dude who has done the stalking and the kidnapping is the baby face. I love it.
All we need is fucking Indy to randomly pop up with him. We'd be all set.
I'm waiting for it.
Because she hasn't been on NXT since
I'm waiting for Index versus that couple. That's got to be the end game of this.
Then we end the show with Edge beating Dom by disqualification because Judgment Day comes in and says "fuck your shit" and lays out Edge. Does anybody know where we're going with this? Does anybody know?
But I'm not sure. I might, but I'm not sure. But here's the thing. I understand they're trying to do something different. And obviously they did this to get Judgment Day over as a good heel stable. Because they've kind of been like here and there and like 1 week on, 1 week off. And then they really wanted to establish them as a big bad. And I get that. And I understand that. Unfortunately, you have a component in there right now that just does not fit that. And that's Dominic Mysterio.
No.
He doesn't fit that mold, and no matter what you do, you can't turn him into Sick Boy.
Sick Boy.
That's what they're basically doing. Sick Boy, Lupus, name your... Yeah, they're trying to do the Ravens flock angle, but having the one guy that doesn't fit, who's the little lackey. And it's not going to work. And like, because Dominic, he obviously, he sucked as a babyface. He sucks even more as a heel. He has no expression. He like there's nothing you can do with and he sucks in the fucking ring. There's nothing you can do with him. And that segment would have gone over so much more last night if there was just someone else in that freaking spot. If there was someone else in that spot that they had yanked from the back, someone else that they could use instead of fucking Rey Mysterio. And the only thing that I can think that there are not Ray Dominic. The only thing I can think that they're going to do right now is last night they wrote off Edge for another couple of months because Edge is on a limited contract.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, Ray now needs help and he doesn't know where to go because Edge is gone. And all of a sudden, and he basically needs 3 guys and a girl to help him out. So he makes a call to Mexico. And here comes Legado del Fantasma.
Legado.
They were getting the babyface. They were getting the babyface reaction. I mean, granted, it's because there was a lot of Latinos in the audience in Florida, but still, like, and I mean, Ray and Santos have that history from Lucha Underground. You know, I'm not saying like people are going to know that Santos is King Cuerno and all that shit, but they have that working relationship where they know they can work well together. So I feel like that's the route they're gonna have to go until Edge comes back. And I think when Edge comes back, it's gonna be one of those things where and I'm pretty sure they're gonna try to keep Judgment Day getting over, and they're gonna get over on Legado at the beginning. When Edge comes back, Edge will have something in his back pocket of his own, and I think they're waiting on that so they can do something with Bray Wyatt or something like that. Because they're still negotiating. And we don't have it in the bag yet.
And can we agree on one final thing before we get towards wrapping up the show?
Absolutely.
Rhea is not just Dom's poppy. Rhea is everyone's poppy in the Judgment Day.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Rhea is everyone's poppy in the Judgment Day. But let's just be real. Like,
yeah,
Rhea's the de facto leader that nobody wants to announce being the leader.
Yes. Yes, agreed.
Which is weird. Not that I'm saying a female leading a group of males is weird. I'm saying not out just someone outright saying that she's the fucking leader is weird.
Yeah. I feel like the only way they can try to keep getting this over is they finally get Ray brings in Legato, they do some shit. The end game is they get over on Legato, and as they're celebrating, they turn and like, we don't need this kid anymore. And they just kick the shit out of him and throw him and toss him to the side. And he's gone. And gets replaced by someone else. That's all I can see, because this gimmick is like as much as you want to try to push them as the big bad heel stable with that kid in it, it's not going to happen.
There's one other WWE thing, kind of sort of WWE thing we need to address before we go into
the
last thing I want to bring up.
Okay.
But I'm going to make a header for this one. I'm
Okay.
just going to let it ride. Boy, did Patrick Clark really fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Those of you who, for whatever reason, aren't familiar with the name, Patrick Clark is the shoot name of One Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
And this fucker just keeps... Right when you think there's a ray of sunshine for him to come back,
Yeah.
he just goes and fucks it all up.
Yeah.
Was it drug paraphernalia charges? There's now
That was the first one, and then the assault
talk about him
charge
assaulting someone
in a gym. Yeah.
I mean, fuck all, Patrick. God damn.
Had a chance to come back.
Like this was the widest the door could have possibly been open. Was what's happened the last 6 weeks, and just nope, no bueno. What is wrong with some people?
I don't know.
Like, how do you throw out golden opportunities like that when they're clearly presenting themselves? I don't get it. I just don't get it. Which brings me to what I want to close the show with.
I have one thing after you do your thing.
Oh, no, then please, because what I want to close the show with is clearly close the show worthy. No offense to you.
Okay. I just wanted to, I wanted to give a little more push. I mentioned it last week, but I got some new information. Interspecies Wrestling is making their return to Connecticut on Friday, November 25th.
Friday after Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it's Black Friday. It's November to remember. Once again, I don't care for the title, but I don't run that part at that aspect of the company. I share an owner. I was gonna mention. They booked a few people.
Well, I know they booked Tara Calloway because she's one of their champions.
She's the champion. She's the undisputed king of crazy.
Right.
But also, so they've made some announcements. They booked Razor Wing.
Okay.
Hot Stepper, who's out of Canada. Cecil Nix, who is the former Bastion Snow.
Okay.
The Miracle Generation, Kylon King and Dustin Waller, who are local to Connecticut. Mm-hmm. Jeff Cannonball has been announced.
Naturally, because Tara's booked.
And this has not been announced anywhere yet, but I did some, politicking and work. I will be doing a commentary on the VIP show with one Peter DeLong.
Oh, right. I remember you telling me about this. Yes.
And the Dissension Pro Wrestling Championship will be defended on this show. Once everything is done, I will announce who Bobby Ocean's opponent is. But
hitting Bobby Ocean.
But we're making baby steps to start coming back hard in 2023, and this is the first one.
Well, since we're doing that, I might as well show this off. Please hold.
Mm-hmm.
They're back.
I saw that.
Dynasty
With our
Pro
old
Wrestling.
ring. With our old ring.
Oh, really?
Oh, there's a long story behind that.
Okay. So Dynasty Pro Wrestling returning. This is a reunion show, so there's not going to be any big names. It's just strictly a reunion show being run in Amsterdam because that was like unofficially the home base of Dynasty back in the day in 2017, 2018. So reunion show is being run Saturday, October 29th at the Inman Center right on Guy Park Avenue in Amsterdam. Ample parking, so no worries about that, even though Amsterdam's a little weird with parking, but don't worry, there's plenty of space. 7 p.m. bell time, doors open 6:15. And then there'll be more information to follow, more than likely right around the time of that show, as far as the forward thinking of what they're going to do beyond that. I do know that without revealing anything too crazy, there is talks of the main home base being in Schenectady, like downtown Schenectady, not outskirts of Schenectady, at a random boys and girls club like some other promotions. Hint, hint, wink, wink. So we're talking somewhere in downtown Schenectady is what we're looking at. And yeah, that's that. And then obviously, you and I need to do some talking at some point to figure shit out. So on the road again. I can't wait to be on the road again.
Apparently Raw's ratings are out.
And?
There was a drop because of Monday Night Football.
Oh, yeah.
That's overnight average is 1.71 million.
Oh, by the way,
that's a big drop.
Forgot to break this out. Now, the timing is a little off. I'll update it. Dana Brooke has been 24/7 champion for 145 days now. That's longer than the last 4 AEW heavyweight champions in the last 9 TNT championship reigns. Just an FYI. I feel like I had to bring that up because I wanted to make JJ laugh before I put up this final thing. Because the last thing I want to bring up is not a ha-ha funny moment. I know, I'm sorry. I like going home happy too. But
it happens.
When you have scumbags named after the movie this quote comes from, well, yeah.
Yes.
So, a gentleman named Devin Nicholson is going to be standing trial starting October 12th on charges of assaulting a woman this past month. Rumors abound it's his girlfriend, which was actually proven true based on the video.
He put out a YouTube video, yeah.
Right.
Which apparently he was supposed to be on house arrest too, which the YouTube video proved he wasn't at home.
Right. Dumbass. Now, for those of you who are thinking, God, that name kind of sounds familiar. Well, this douchebag is known in the wrestling ranks as Hannibal. And if that name rings a bell, well, let me remind you what this schmuck did before. That was the guy that almost killed a referee by stabbing him in the fucking fork.
It was a spike.
Or a spike, thank you.
Yeah.
And apparently after the fact, like people tried to cover it. It was a work. It wasn't a shoot. Referee was like, I kind of think otherwise. Like it was a fucking mess.
Yeah.
But yeah, he basically almost caused the referee to bleed to death before he got to the hospital, and thankfully he's still alive.
Yeah.
The picture of him post injury is kind of gruesome, so I'll save that from you.
Yeah.
But apparently, so here's what we're looking at. He was incarcerated since his arrest and appeared before the Ontario Court of Justice last week for a bail hearing. Apparently, he was with his girlfriend August 20th and was listed on the court docket on August 29th. So the alleged incident happened in that time range of 8 or 9 days. He was released on bail and under the supervision of his parents.
Yeah.
He must either stay with them or stay in contact with them, and he's not allowed to have any contact with the victim, which again, as we came to find out from his YouTube response that was posted in the last couple of days, is his girlfriend, and which he's claimed to be facing 5 charges from the alleged attacks. He also alleges, though, that the girlfriend assaulted him and posted various photos of himself from after those attacks.
Boy.
I'll read this paragraph quote. I'm not promoting him. I'm just saying what he said. Quote, Unfortunately, a situation has come up that there are a lot of people that are trying to make me guilty until proven innocent. Unfortunately, a bad situation happened with a girl that I was dating, but one thing that nobody is reporting on is that the girl, which she said the name of, but I'm not going to do that, actually also has 5 charges against her for assaulting me with a weapon, uttering threats to me, destroying my property, and causing bodily harm. There are 2 sides of the story, and she's already had 1 court appearance in Ottawa. She has another one in October. I'm going to leave it up to the courts. It's not a matter of public opinion. It's a matter for the courts to decide. It's just an unfortunate situation. I've never been in a situation like this before where I've had to deal with a partner attacking me. It's just unfortunate. I can't say anything more than that. I wish her the best, but it's now a matter for the courts. Can I call bullshit?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like
The
if any of
universe
you,
finds ways.
doesn't this go back to the whole karma thing you were mentioning like an hour ago?
Yes.
I mean, just
This guy's been a scumbag in the wrestling business for a long ass time. He's not even really in the business. He's hardly trained. He pays promoters to be on his shows. He pays the guys he wants to work. He was paying Selena De La Renta to be like to like be his manager in spots until he screwed up and bled all over one of her outfits, and then she was like, "You owe me money for this," and he was like, "I ain't paying you." So she was like, "Never fucking call me again." Like, and no one wants to work with him because everything he does, it's terrible. He's a horrible worker and a horrible person, and belongs nowhere near the wrestling business.
I think that sums up perfectly.
Yeah.
Anything else you wanted to get off your chest before we call it a night?
I don't think so. I think we've pretty much covered everything. Amazingly enough.
Alrighty. That being said, thanks for checking out episode 66 of White Heat, presented by Godzilla Media, sponsored by our friends over at Johnstone Supply, DraftKings, and Mohawk Honda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that wraps it. Oh, social media, I'm at Brian Cady. He's at JJ_Alexander on Twitter.
Today's the last day to vote for me as the new face of horror. 2-for-1 votes today.
There you go. And any long-form questions, comments, complaints, by all means, send them to JJ's Facebook page. No, I'm kidding. Email them to brian.cady@GodzillaMedia.com. And I think that does it. Oh, by the way, don't forget, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe to the Godzilla Media YouTube page. Rate and subscribe over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Rumor has it, Little Birdie told me, our time elapsed listening skyrocketed the last 6 weeks.
Awesome.
So keep it up, folks, because podcasting, we judge more by time elapsed listening than actual views or listens, because it means people are actually,
sticking with it.
Right. They're sticking with it. It works like radio, folks. That's how it kind of works. Works just like radio, basically. So, yeah, keep it up, folks. We like you, and hopefully you continue to like us. That's the best way for me to put it.
Wonderful.
That all said, JJ, say fuck you, Hannibal.
Fuck you.